with your palate cleansers. Show me what you got.
Welcome in, everybody, to a brand new episode of Audionots, your pop culture palate cleanser. I am Eric Oldboy, online with the infamous Rin. What's up, R-E-N?
What it do? I am Ren. Not much, man. Just living life every day by day, repeating days. Nothing
Well,
new, really.
a little bit of repetitive days. That's okay, though. I mean, are you at least doing fun things in your repetition?
Yeah, the CDC came out today, said that vaccinated people like us can don't need to wear masks anymore.
Dude, I am so excited. This is huge news. So by the time people listen to this, they'll have known this for a few days. But we record on Thursday, so it's lucky Thursday the 13th. And yeah, they said today that if you're fully vaccinated, which means you've been vaccinated for 2 weeks, not just yesterday or the day before, 2 weeks, yeah, have at it. You can gather in public, you can gather in private, indoor, outdoor. The only rules they really set so far was public transit. You still have to wear a mask. Yeah. And of course, any kind of business. So if you're like rolling into Target and Target's like, yo, homie, you still need to wear a mask. Don't be a dick. Just put the mask on,
I mean, it's pretty simple, no shirt, no service. Same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
No mask, no service. People are, it's going to cause some issues. There's no way it doesn't cause issues.
Yeah. Has it been 2 weeks for you?
Yep, I'm good. In fact, my whole family, was I the last one? I was one of the last ones. So I'm good to go. We're all good to go. I was talking to my wife about it just a minute ago, and she's like, I don't know if I'm ready. And I'm like, we've all been traumatized. I go, think about it. At a certain point, we all have to rip the Band-Aid off, one way or another. And everybody should get to choose on their own. I don't think anybody should shame anybody at this point for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask.
Shame.
Yeah, it's all good. Everybody's good. You want to keep wearing your mask? I say do it. And I think that we're all going to have to wear masks here and there for years to come. I don't think that's going to go away immediately. But if I can roll into the park and not have anybody side eye me, because we were recently in Oregon, we have this really cool park called the Rose Gardens, or the City of Roses.
Yeah.
We went there for Mother's Day and it was nice out. It was a beautiful day. And I guess we went there for my wife's birthday. It was before Mother's Day. And to have to wear a mask outside when there was people there, but no one within 6 feet of us. But yet you knew if you didn't have it on, people would be like, oh, what's this guy's deal? He must be one of them hillbillies.
What's wrong with him? I mean, you have the right skin color, so.
I know. I fit the profile. So I'm wearing my mask. I'm sweating. I'm like, oh, it sucks. So yeah, it's cool. I love it. And they also in Oregon approved today that kids 12 and up can now get vaccinated safely. And almost immediately, Kid Danger School sent out a thing and said, hey, we've got open appointments next week. Sign up. So
nice.
We're going to get him signed up. I went and did my research. We're still going to call his doctor and check as the listeners know, Kid Danger did have COVID. But they say it's actually good. They say as long as you're past your quarantine, you could absolutely still get vaccinated. And here's the best part. It's most likely you will have no side effects, like the side effects you had, the side effects my wife had, those real good ones. You're not going to have those, most likely.
Sucks for you, man. It was so fun.
And here's the best part. What they call long-lasting COVID side effects, such as him not being able to taste things like he likes to or smell things like he likes to. It says often they're finding that the vaccination fixes that.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, there's really no downside to sticking them in the arm and having them join the club.
It's kind of crazy how you hear stuff that you lose taste buds, you can't smell stuff.
Yeah,
but you actually know someone so close to you, your son, to have no taste, and that's crazy, And
it's kind of weird. It's not as black and white as he can't taste anything. It's like a lot of things just don't taste good to him anymore.
Right.
And so we had to give away a case of Red Bull because he hates Red Bull now. We had to give away a case of chili because we buy everything at Costco. So we have cases and cases of this garbage. No one else eats it. I don't drink Red Bull. I don't drink Nally's or eat Nally's chili. And so now he doesn't want any of it because it doesn't taste good to him. So we had to ditch all this stuff.
I'm excited because I want to get back into doing more photography and you don't have to wear a mask outside, man. That's such a lifesaver.
as a glasses wearer, someone who has to wear glasses all the time, not having to be fogged up, so like everybody's gonna be able to pick and choose. Like I definitely would feel comfortable if people aren't bodied up on me outside. No big deal. I wouldn't even think twice about not wearing a mask. I'd probably be comfortable inside of a store like Target or the mall, as long as there's not like someone right next to me. And honestly, I'm still gonna maintain my 6 feet just because I don't like people.
Yeah. I think for
Yeah.
me, if I go indoors like shopping, whatever, I'm still gonna wear a mask. But if I'm outside, man, I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna wear no mask, dude. I'm outside.
Well, that's the beauty of it. Everybody gets to choose. And so
Yeah.
if the store mandates it, I'm absolutely complying. I'm not going to be the guy that gives anybody any grief. I'm always going to keep mine in my pocket. And if I need it, I'll have it ready to go. I'm not going to give my wife a hard time because she's mask traumatized and wants to keep wearing it. I say, go for it. I'm not going to give her a hard time. And I think that we're going to slowly start to progress out of this where we're not also like, oh, because right now I have the mentality too. When I see people, I'm like, they don't have a mask on. What's wrong with these people?
Yeah.
Why aren't they wearing a mask?
Yeah. You're so judgy now.
Yo, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all mask judgmental. We look, oh, mask hole. That guy's a mask hole. He doesn't wear his mask.
Yeah, my wife's actually taking my parents and my little sister on next Tuesday to get their
Yes.
second shot. So my whole family will be vaccinated by then.
They'll all be down for the count at once.
Yeah.
That's why you took Wednesday off of our real work so you could babysit, keep them all feeling okay, keep them hydrated.
Yeah, they got to take care of my wife, man. She took care of me, so
that's good. The one tip you gave me was drink lots. And so I'm like, oh, I'm not even worried about it. But I did. I drank lots and I really didn't have very many side effects. So maybe it actually worked. I don't know.
Yeah. And when I said drink lots of water. Okay. Not beer,
water.
Not,
No. I drank lots
Red
of whiskey
Bull.
and I had no idea that I was even vaccinated. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, holy smokes. That's cool. What else? What else is going on?
Same old. Still trying to ship out fishes. Running my stock is a little lower. So I'm happy. I'm thinking about doing like another pair to breed more, summertime.
You're addicted. You're addicted to selling betas.
I'm just addicted to money, man. Whatever I can make money.
Oh, I know. I think that we almost need to have a segment called like the hustle, because between you and I, we're always coming up with dumb ways to get a little extra cash,
Yeah, so if you listeners out there want to donate money to our cause, feel free to donate money.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We're like probably the only podcast in the entire universe that doesn't have a Patreon where we could be like, hey, jump on here and give me $5. Because I listen to a lot of podcasts because I like to research. I listen to them just for enjoyment. I think that's part of the reason we like to do it, because they're enjoyable to listen to. But also I'm so competitive. And like, I'll listen and be like, oh, I want to do what they're doing. Why does their stuff sound good? Why does their stuff look so good? Right. And then I'm like, I want to be more like that. Oh, that's a great idea. I'm totally going to cop that idea and we're going to do it. And so, yeah, it's like, it's kind of fun to be competitive like that, but they all get a little extra cash from the Patreon. So we should probably set one up.
Maybe. Because every time I listen to like other stuff to like get on Patreon, do this, and then it becomes more like a sell now, like I'm just here for the entertainment. But now I'm like, oh man, they're pitching this sell. I'm like,
The difference though, I don't disagree with you, but if we just said, hey, if you wanted to donate because you like the show, go for it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. We won't make it, at least not yet. Never say never. We won't be like, oh, to get the premium content, because there's a lot of that. I saw, in fact, I follow on our Audionots Twitter account, which everybody should be following if you're not. We have a lot of Twitter friends that are also podcasters.
Yeah.
And I saw one podcaster was saying they got a bad review because the way they have set their podcast up is it's one of these crime mystery shows that everybody loves.
Yeah, true crimes, baby.
Yeah, true crime. And so she gives like 15 minutes of this, like she sets up the true crime and gets you like totally engaged. And then she hits a moment and goes, oh, if you want to hear the rest of it, you got to jump onto this Patreon link, pay the $2. And like people are giving her bad reviews for that. And like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like kind of like what you're saying, like she's worked hard to gather that. And I know these true crime people, especially the good ones, they put a lot of like work and effort into finding the stuff to talk about. And so like, I guess you can't really hate on her for wanting to get paid for the work she's putting in. But I also get it as a fan where I'm like, oh, but I liked it for free. Everything costs money now.
Well, I kind of like, the model of porn, right?
Nope. Straight to porn.
It's porn's life, man. Like the free porn is always like is there, it's easy, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But then if you want like the premium content, you gotta like you gotta give some money.
It's true. And I've never understood the people that pay
Yeah.
for pornography, but yeah, you
I
do
want
you.
I want that 4K, man. 4K.
Yeah, and I mean it's keeping these ladies in work, so who am I to judge?
Yeah, what a tease. I mean, I get it though. Like my wife's a big true crime listener too. She listens
Right.
to this like little Korean girl named Stephanie Sue.
Yeah.
And like those people, they're not just reading you like line from the story, right?
Right.
They're telling you the story.
Yeah, they've
Like,
researched it, they put the
yeah,
time in. Yeah, so
yeah.
I get it too. Now imagine, do you think, let me ask you this, if she was listening to Stephanie Storyteller or whatever her name is, and gets to a certain point, and he's like, stop, you can't hear it until you give me $2, she probably would, right? Because
Yeah,
now
she
she's
probably
used to
would.
it. Yeah.
Like 30 minutes in, you're like, oh my gosh, that what happens next? I
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah. You, especially if it's really juicy and interesting, you're like, oh, I've got to know.
And then it's like $2, man, $2 pocket change. Just go,
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Also, not, even when you step past the effort that people put in, because we put in a little bit of effort, and like I do all this show research, and you do all the cool editing. So there's actual effort that goes into this.
Yeah.
But also like the equipment. I mean, look at the equipment. We got the high end cameras, we got the fancy microphones, we got a bunch of stuff happening that we've purchased. So I get it. Like I was thinking, when's the last time you listened to one of our early, like first few podcasts?
Oh, I don't even want to go near those. I'm scared.
So much garbage. Oh, they're
So scared.
terrible. It sounds like we're like in a hallway, like underneath a bedspread or something. It's
Bunch
terrible.
of bunch of noobs.
Oh,
Especially
it's
the
the
ones where
worst.
we first got online. I was like, oh my gosh, those are even worse.
Oh, I know. Like we've had a lot of bad sounding episodes, and that's kind of where we came up with the name because we were like, this is fun. Who cares what it sounds like? We'll just keep doing our thing, and we're not good at audio. But now we're almost should be called audio goods,
Yeah.
because we figured it out. We're much better at audio than we used to be.
Welcome back, audio goods.
Welcome back to Audio Goods. We are now talking about audio.
But yeah, good times.
Good times, yeah. You ready to start the show? We're like get into the meat of it.
Sure.
So we've been starting lately with NFTs, which I think is kind of fun because there's just so much of it. And like I see so much people talking about NFTs where you go back literally just the beginning of this year and nobody was talking about NFTs. And I came across on Twitter today, freaking Paris Hilton. Remember her? She's like, yeah, one of the OG like sex tape stars, from the Hilton hotel brand, like whatever. What was her? She had a phrase. I can't even remember what it was. As if it was like that kind of thing.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But she was talking about how she was an early adopter. And by the way, it turns out like that whole thing she did on the Paris Hilton show she used to have, totally fake. She has a totally normal voice. Actually seems kind of smart. So it was definitely an act she had put on. So that good on her. But so she was on this I think it was actually a podcast, and she was talking about how she stumbled into NFTs by pure accident because she was a big fan of seeing people who built art get paid. And there was no good way for people, especially in the digital art world, to make money from it. And so she kind of like started messing around a little bit with it. She had NFTs of herself actually made. And so she's been an early adopter, and now she's a big advocate going around talking about NFTs and kind of getting people like excited about it. And she knows like a lot. It's surprising. You never think you would learn anything from Paris Hilton, but you could. I mean, it's
Nice.
crazy. Yeah. But my first NFT story is another big sale, because I love to point these out just to prove how raging the market is right now, because it's like shocking.
Makes me mad every time you tell me the numbers. I'm like, God damn it.
Well, that's why we're the hustlers, right? We're always trying to find that next thing and see if we can get in on it. And we should probably talk a little bit of Top Shot next, but yeah. So the NFT fever is still raging. 9 CryptoPunks. We've talked about CryptoPunks a little bit in the past. They're the little 8-bit digital guys that look really stupid, and it's shocking that they're worth money.
I know.
Yeah. So 9 CryptoPunks, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, residing on the Ethereum network, have been sold in an auction at Christie's. Now, Christie's, you may or may not know, is like the famous auction house that usually sells super expensive things. Like this baseball was hit by Babe Ruth. This antique came from this thing. This painting was made by Picasso. Well, they sold 9 NFTs, 9 CryptoPunks to be specific, for $16.96 million. 17 million bucks.
I don't, dude, that's insane, man. I can't get I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't do it.
Like I still like I love the NFTs are a thing, and I like that it's developing, but I'm just curious who these people are that are just blowing that kind of money on something like this. Like,
Yeah.
I get it in the smaller ranges, but when you get into this multi-million dollar, I just paid multi-million dollars for a digital asset. It's just like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I wish we
I mean,
knew.
it's the real deal.
Yeah, I wish we knew somebody that bought and bring him on the show.
Yeah, maybe I should do some like searching, see if I can find somebody that would be willing to come on and talk about the thinking behind spending that kind of money on an NFT and why it's worth it to them.
Just to get their name on the token, I guess.
I mean, $17 million is an expensive way to get your name on a digital asset. So,
well, the funny thing is that the regular folks like us, when we see that, we're like, I could just save it. I could just copy and save it.
right.
Now it's mine. It's like,
yeah, and the picture of it is literally in the article.
Yeah.
I've seen it. You own it for $17 million, but I saw it for free.
But your name's not into token, so
that's true. That's
joke's
true.
on you.
But over on NBA Top Shot, we've seen kind of roller coaster. We've been predicting this would happen for a while, and like we like to come on here and talk about our wins. So I think it's only fair that I come on here and talk about my losses.
Oh,
and so yeah, I gotta talk about my L. I took an L, and so that's okay though, because I think in the long run it's gonna be fine. So I was so excited. I finally got I finally won to get my first rare pack. And so it wasn't cheap though. It was some money. And I spent this money on this rare pack. And in the end, because I got kind of a dumb rare card, I don't remember what they were like slam dunk ones or something. The rare card was like some lame dude that nobody cares about, Jackson Hayes to be exact. Exactly. Spelled with an X. Man, what the hell? Who spells Jackson with an X?
Jax.
Yeah, Jackson Hayes. Well, Jack screwed me over because his card routinely is just going for $60, and so I paid double that for the pack though. And the other cards in it, like I'll never make up the difference because they're going for $2 to $4. And so you kind of see what's happening is I think anybody who's joining today needs to realize that the days of instant gratification are pretty much gone. And maybe they're here and there. You might still pull a pack to get to a LeBron or some rookie. So there's still going to be those moments, but I think we need to readjust the way we think about it and start thinking about the long run. Just like if you were to buy anything new, now you're going to want to buy these cheaper things and kind of save them and hang on to them. And so it's not going to be, you can buy something today and make $500 on it tomorrow. You've got to buy it today and then wait months, years. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But the NBA Top Shot has talked about that they're finally going to go public. So I don't know if they're going to stop calling it beta or not. But during the NBA playoffs, they're actually going to start advertising this on TV. And I'm hoping that that's going to give us a nice little lift of new users.
Right. Well, you can understand it's just like any other like card collecting, like physical card collecting, like
Yeah,
Magic cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, baseball cards,
sure.
Pokemon cards, it's the same thing. You buy one pack, it gives you 9 cards, and most of that it's trash, and you get one rare, and then maybe it's like a better rare, or it's all by chance. And I think they're trying to do that with these packs now too.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's going. The only thing that kind of like throws you off is when you pay a lot of money for a pack. Like
Right.
when I go to the store and I buy a pack of baseball cards, is like what, $2-3? No big deal. If I end up throwing them all away afterwards, oh well, it was the price of a cheap coffee. But if I spend $100 on a pack of baseball cards and I get $3 worth of baseball cards, I'm kind of like, what the heck, man? Why does this one cost $100 if you're not going to at least give me something good or a better opportunity to get something good?
Yeah, I think that pack should have been like, at the very most, like $29,
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then people would have been like, this is cool. I like it a lot better.
Yeah.
But it's something that people need to learn when they start doing this is that it is really volatile how the money kind of goes up and down. I'm still plus money overall on Top Shot, but I'm starting to like chip away at it.
I
And
know.
it's just a matter of like kind of like have the diamond hands, and hang on to it and let it kind of like gain some value over time, I think.
I mean, it's kind of like, real gambling where you plus money and then you have all this money. You're like, "Oh, I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try that one. I'm going to try this one." And all of a sudden you're like, wait, where's my money?
I spent all my money. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I get it. It's still fun. I still like it. I'm not dissonant at all, but I think just people need to manage their expectations of what they think NBA Top Shot is right now. But I really do believe, and as Ren's told everybody 100 times before, this is not financial advice. I
Yes.
personally believe that these first series, 1 and 2, even though series 2 is really, there's a lot of them. I think once we get past that and they start series 3, series 4, I think those first 2 series, because those were really the early adopter stuff, are going to be valuable. So holding on to it's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, because if you look at even series 1, they're way more, it's hard
Yeah,
to get
and I
those
think they're
two.
only going to go up.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you wanted to spend a little bit, that's where you should be spending your money on series 1 or like the more rare type cards that are hard to get, why they're lower value.
Diamond hands, man.
Diamond
Hold.
hands, gotta have those
Hold
diamond hands.
door. Yeah, maybe I gotta do a shout out to some Dogecoin, man. I
Oh
gotta I
yeah.
gotta hashtag Dogecoin to get our analytics up there.
Oh, I know. Yeah, tag it and say,
Yeah.
hey, this is the place for Doge.
Do you see what Elon Musk is doing, man? That guy alone is like just manipulating the market. And like, how come nobody's saying anything about it, man?
It's shocking. Yeah, if the Reddit bros like mess around a little bit with GameStop and everybody loses their minds, the government gets involved. But then Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, manipulates cryptocurrency the way he is, and no one's blinking an eye at it.
Yeah, just by tweeting. Like,
He can shut down a cryptocurrency, but it sounds like he's had a little bit of a rude awakening, a tiny bit, because he basically said, hey, I'm not taking Bitcoin anymore for Teslas. But
yeah.
I'm going to take Dogecoin eventually, I think is what he's doing. But everybody's like, oh, well, Bitcoin's down. All the cryptocurrency went down with it instead of something else rising to take its place.
Yeah, because I invested a little bit in Bitcoin and Ethereum,
Yeah.
and I'm losing money. I'm like, what the heck, man?
Yeah. This might be, during this dip might be a good time. And if I was going to buy some more, and I probably am, I would bet on Ethereum, because the one thing I've noticed about Ethereum is that's the one where all the NFT action's happening.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the one where all the stuff's going on. You don't ever see like, oh, this cool NFT lives on Bitcoin. And I don't know
No,
why that is, but it just doesn't happen.
yeah, it's
So
all
yeah, I think
Ethereum.
Ethereum's the one to get into for sure. If you're going to spend some money, spend it on Ethereum.
Yeah, if you are like diamond hands and don't sell, it's a smart to do it how you do stocks, like compound interest, where you just slowly invest, $30, $100 a week or whatever, and
Right.
just keep putting money in there, and then dude, your money's just gonna multiply, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you look at the early adopters of Bitcoin, even though it's come down a little bit, those guys became millionaires, but it didn't happen overnight. Everybody like, because we've all learned about it yesterday,
Yeah,
we think, wow, holy crap, that guy's a millionaire overnight. He
yeah,
had it for years before the rest of us even started talking about it. And
yeah.
so it's the things that we're not talking about that you got to kind of find.
That could have been you, man. You had Dogecoin so early.
I know. I know. I got what they call paper hands. I'm like, oh, $20 profit. Let's go. I'm getting rid of it.
Profits, profit, man.
Yeah. So that was like, I should have hung on. I really should have.
Yeah, but Elon basically, said no more Bitcoin, and then tweets out, "Do you want me to take Dogecoin?" I was like, "What's going on here, man?" And then today he tweeted out saying that he's working with Dogecoin to see if to work on their transaction stuff. And
Nice.
then everyone's like, "Oh shit, what's gonna be next? It's gonna be now accepting Dogecoin."
Yeah, it's only a matter of time because he
Yeah,
already posted that he was accepting Dogecoin for SpaceX, which I just don't even know what you'd buy at SpaceX. But he's building it up as best he can. So yeah, I think there's a real good short-term investment with Doge. It has been going down recently, so watch the dips, and you could probably pick up quite a bit during the dip.
yeah, dude. Crypto is so volatile, man. You can never
Big
predict.
time.
Yeah. So it's just if you invest, man, it's on you. Do your DD, man.
Yeah, you got to understand the risk that's involved with cryptocurrency.
Yeah. And then later on, tax stuff. Whoo, they want to think about that.
What they don't tell you is the crypt part in cryptocurrency is because you fall over dead when you lose a bunch of money. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to our next category. Let's look at the healthy stream. So start over on Disney Plus. Bad Batch episode 2 came out. It was a normal episode. It wasn't like one of these super long hour and a half episodes that we got for the debut. But this was kind of a good episode. It kind of like started moving the story forward, and we're kind of figuring out more. What did you think about Bad Batch?
I mean, the whole series so far, 2 episodes, I've been digging it. A lot of callbacks to the Clone Wars and Rebels, so I really like that. And last episode, I said that who are they gonna meet? And this one, we find out who they met, and it's like, oh shit, let's go.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So they bring back a character from Clone Wars, and it's cool. Yeah, to see them like meet these characters we've seen before. They're really good at keeping everything kind of tied together. We're learning more about Omega as the series progresses.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of speculation on what she could become later on. So that's kind of fun.
And then name drop Rex too.
Oh, they did. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, that's cool. I dig it.
Yeah, I really like it. It's not as easy to talk about. Like there's like, wow, this thing happened, that thing happened with like the Marvel shows. But it's definitely a watch. So if you enjoyed Clone Wars and you enjoyed Rebels, you're gonna love Bad Batch because it's right in the same vein. It's the same kind of thing. It continues on. They do a really good job of continuity, and that's always kind of cool.
Right. I dig it.
I dig it too. Over on Netflix, I started a heated debate on the Twitter when I said Jupiter's Legacy sucks, and I went on a thread. So Jupiter's Legacy debuted. It's the one about superheroes. Was it Josh Duhamel?
Yeah.
And it's based off of, I guess, a pretty decent comic book, which I haven't read, but I kind of want to now. I'm actually pretty interested in the comic. It debuted all the episodes at once, so we were able to binge watch it. Even though I started to watch the first episode and it immediately sparked my hate, I decided to watch it all the way through so that I could give a fair and honest opinion. And I'm curious to see if your opinion is differing than mine. But to cut to the chase, I didn't like it, and I'll tell you why. I thought, the effects were horrible. It looked very much like something that you would see on the CW. Like it's all very much green screen. The costumes were kind of goofy. I like that they're old school costumes, but like the main villain that they have in the very beginning looks like a rubber villain from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You know, it was pretty dumb. They have like weird, like jump, like slow, like even through the entire series, they have these weird, like slow motion, like shaky things that happen. I don't know what that effect is, but I hate it. The wigs that they wear, the makeup that make them look old is terrible. It pulls me out of it so badly because it just looks really bad. The story itself is kind of, I heard it's not as good as the actual comic version of it. What else did I dislike about it? The pacing, I thought it was boring. It like takes forever to go nowhere. And when you really start to think about it, this is not a show you should put too much effort or mind into thinking about, because then you're like really starting to realize how little sense it actually makes. And the conclusion was like, oh, okay. And so for me and me only, and I understand everybody has different tastes because I posted a lot of these thoughts on Twitter and there was a lot of people that stood up for it. There's a lot of people that agreed with me because I just want to point out that it only has a 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's not like I'm the only one that dislikes it. But yeah, for me, my official Audionots score, my Audionut is a 2. I'll give it a 2, and that's it. How about you? What do you think?
Wow. Well, I completely disagree with you.
Oh,
CW shows are way better than this show.
Psych.
You know, I watch a lot of The Flash,
Yeah,
Green Arrow, all that stuff, and it's way better.
I think then what I mean when I compare it to CW is the aesthetic. The aesthetic looks like CW, so maybe CW has a better storytelling, a better like editing, that kind of stuff going
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
and better acting, because the acting's not great either. And these are all okay actors. So it's kind of surprising that some of the acting's really dry and dull, like they're just reading lines. And so, yeah, no, I don't mean to disparage your CW. I guess I meant the aesthetics specifically.
Yeah, I think for me, after watching it, the more I thought about it, the more I hate it. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, dude, I don't know. For me, I really like the story of what's his face? Utopian, right? How
Yeah. The Utopian.
he is justice and he wants to keep the world it is without them being gods, sort of thing.
Right.
But it's like the storytelling of it is terrible. And they just can't find their tone, I think. Like you said, one scene looks like super like low quality CG, and
Yeah.
the fighting is like they couldn't afford stunt doubles, so they had to use their real actors and actresses, fight or
Yep.
something. And it
Yeah.
looks terrible. Like I think the one thing that I hate the most about it was the close-up shots of their faces, man. Like what the heck, dude? Did the people that make The Walking Dead, that one season,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
with
Yeah.
the like
Like season
face
6 of The
shot?
Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's like why it's like they couldn't. It's probably because it's all green screen, so they couldn't show much. Like, we're just gonna green screen, blur it out, and show their face.
There was one scene where, and I think it was later in the season, where Lady Liberty, the mom, she kind of is floating in and like sneaking up on her daughter through like a apartment window or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the green screen was so bad that you could see it in her hair. You could see the green tinge in her hair. And it was like the kind of stuff you see like with fan made stuff on like YouTube. In fact, I mentioned that in one of my comments, and people were like, I've seen way better fan made stuff than this.
Well, unlike you, I gave it a little more nut,
Okay.
just because I feel like there's a lot of potential that could be fixed,
Sure.
and they need to hire a whole new like production crew or something like whole new I don't know, everything that take the story and just tell it right.
Yeah. I almost feel like they need to start again. Just like ignore this ever happened, wait a year or two. Because what happened is Mark Millar is the creator of this, and he's like a really good writer. So
Yeah.
he's this really famous writer. He's written a lot of things. We were talking offline a little bit about it. When he worked for Marvel, he actually wrote the Civil War storyline, which is amazing. Come on. He wrote the Old Man Logan storyline. Like, I mean, those are like two of the best of all
Yeah.
time. And then he had this amazing advice. Stan Lee came to him and said, listen, dude, you're never going to make any money here. They don't let you own anything. You need to start your own thing. And so he was one of the first before, the Rob Liefelds and the Todd McFarlanes and all those guys started Image. He left and started a Millar World, or whatever he calls his comic book company. And he made things like Kick Ass as an independent for DC or whoever ended up picking it up, Marvel. He ended up making Wanted, which was a good comic and a terrible movie. But I guess I read that he's kind of known for is he's cool, not caring what the adaptation looks like. Some guys, creators get really butthurt when the adaptation of their work comes out bad. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if it turns out awesome like Kick Ass or if it turns out like shit like The Wanted. He's like, either way, he's like, hey, I got paid. And he got, it was, I think, a $30 million pre-paycheck for him to bring stuff to Netflix. So he probably doesn't care at all that this came out crappy, and maybe he'll just, like I said, redo it someday, because I guess the comic itself is good.
Yeah, because everybody that read the comics enjoyed the comics, and I'm just like I said, I like the story. I just don't like the way they told it.
Yeah, there was a lot of potential. You're absolutely right. The story had a ton of potential. It was just the execution of the story that made it suffer. So what's your final review? You never gave the number.
Oh, I'm giving it four nets. Yeah,
nice. So that's twice as good as me.
Is that yeah? It's not 5 though. It's way below average. I think the one thing, like you said, the shaky camera stuff. I'm like, I think they're trying to do like that Winter Soldier where it's just like real life. Like stop.
It's weird. Like there was because it's fresh in my mind because I literally just finished the last episode yesterday. It took me. I was chucking along pretty good, doing other things. I was like, I'd watch while I folded laundry or like did chores around the house, so I wasn't like just wasting my time on this. And then I watched that last episode yesterday during lunch, or at least the second half of it. And there was a scene where this guy's like in somebody's mind, and he's like the mind's getting to him, and like there's just like for no reason like this weird like close up. It looked very soap opera-y. It was like, what the hell's happening here? Why is this like this? And then in the end, it didn't even matter.
Yeah. Like I think the one gripe that I have is the way they got their powers. You know,
Yeah.
they were like the chosen one because they're worthy.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't go through anything to be worthy of anything. It's like
I know they made this whole like that bit actually like in it. If you hadn't seen any of the rest of it and you just see that bit where they're telling them that they're worthy and all the people are like, you're worthy, you're worthy. I kind of thought that part was cool, but you're right. They didn't actually earn any of it, or at least the show didn't show us them earning it. It just looked like a bunch of people that for whatever reason decided to follow some crazy guy's vision without ever questioning it, travel around the world and risk their lives without ever questioning it. So if that's all the worthiness was, is you believe in insane people, I'm like, okay, that's good.
Yeah, because like it's like for me, if you want a good origin story, this wasn't it. It's just like,
No.
was this happen? Did this happen in the comics? Is if these guys were the chosen ones, I just don't get how they were chosen. It's like they're worse than me. I could have been chosen.
Yeah, and they prove it themselves. So they're chosen ones, and then in the end, it's their own fracturing against each other that ruins everything. So it's like even the own story kind of, contradicts itself.
Yeah, they were chosen because they, got together as a team, and then it's like
because they made up for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You've got to make up right now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't even say anything. They just kind of like mind talk to each other. Like, okay.
Yeah, they didn't like apologize. Like, I'm good, bro. You good, bro? They totally like, bro. Yeah, and then the wall lights up and they're good to go.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like the cosmic just gave him the outfits.
I know. Like they didn't even have to. Like it's like you're worthy now. You get a dumbass outfit. Every single one of you can fly.
And it's kind of like, why does Skyfox? Why does he have a freaking helmet on? Like, what the hell, dude?
He's like Magneto.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you the one thing I really liked though that I thought was conceptually cool as hell was Skyfox's son, as you pointed out, the guy the Zac Efron's ethnic doppelganger.
Yeah, exactly like him, dude.
Yeah, he looks just like him. So Black Efron has this thing. It looks like the tube that you used to use to put your money into the Bank of America, like shoop, and you go into Bank of America. He has this thing and he can just say wherever he wants and it takes him there. And if someone else tries to do it, it doesn't work. And I thought that was such a cool, clever idea. I'd watch an entire series about a guy that just had that item as his power. Because that was so cool. Like he used it to kill people. He used it to zoom around things. He used it in so many different ways that I never even considered that made it seem extra cool. And until they had their one moment that was almost like Captain America picking up Thor's hammer, where you're kind of like, okay, whatever. But other than that, it was such a cool device that I hadn't really seen before that I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah, because like, one of the biggest plot of the whole show is the code, right? And for me, I'm like, how the hell did the code come about? Because like, you didn't explain anything to me. Why is he all about the code? Like, why is it so important to you? I didn't get it. Like, I like the code, but it's kind of like, why does it mean so much to you?
Yeah, they could have easily given us reasons why it meant so much to him and why he would go all out to enforce it, but they never bothered. They're like, who cares?
Yeah, because the one thing that I dig was like they kind of put it into our timeline, our world.
Yeah,
like there's World War II, Vietnam, or Korea. It's like no, we're not part of it. You have to let the humans figure it out themselves. So I think that was kind of clever in a way. But
yeah, that part was good. So that has moments.
Yeah,
too worthy.
Yeah, it has its potentials, man. I just wish that they took more, storytelling, like better storytelling. Like, for example, this show has a lot of people, right?
Yeah, a lot of characters.
It's hard to tell everyone's story without being boring. But then if you look at like Doom Patrol, it has a lot of characters too, and they did it perfectly, man. It was so good.
It was so good.
Yeah, they moved the story along by getting you the backstory, and it just keeps going. It's I don't know. They just need to hire. They hired the wrong people for this, man.
Yeah, the production company that put this together was all wrong, and that was the biggest problem.
I think so.
Yeah,
because like you said, I was so hyped for this show. Like I had a lot of hopes for this, and after I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, I'm all about anything comic related, especially indie comic. That means it's gonna be risque and do things I haven't seen before, and it's just kind of like, oh, that's too bad. It's almost more disappointing because it had such potential.
Yeah, because me, I'm a big fan of like Homelander, Omni Man,
Yeah,
Superman, like those god power superheroes and what they choose to do with it. It speaks a lot to me. So seeing this, I'm just like, man,
it's like what? Also on Netflix, they've been announcing some stuff. They announced today or yesterday that they're bringing back He-Man in the Masters of the Universe. Revelation is what they're calling it. And what's cool about this is it's actually the showrunner is Kevin Smith.
Kevin freaking Smith, you better make it good, yo.
Oh, he better make it good because I gotta tell you what, you posted, which I thought was cool, that they should bring back Thundercats on our Twitter, and it's been getting a lot of love.
I know.
And I don't
Shout
know
out.
if did you watch a lot of the original Thundercats, or was it that reboot in 2011 that really turned you on to it?
For me, it was the reboot because the '80s one, I was too young to be
You're
able to
too
watch
young.
those. Yeah.
And the reason I think you went with Thundercats is because you were probably too young for He-Man. Now I'm the guy. I grew up on He-Man and I was super into He-Man. I mean, like next level into He-Man. They made these cool ass like buff action figures. Every one of them was just torqued out of their minds. I mean, they were just muscle on muscle. And I had them all. I had Castle Grayskull, I had He-Man, I had She-Ra, I had the Skeletor, I had all these guys. I had all of them. It was awesome. I used to play it all the time. But even to take another level, I had a He-Man birthday party when I was like 7 or 8. Yeah. And my mom for my birthday got me a He-Man toothbrush. And this was the first electric toothbrush I ever had. This wasn't just some like regular toothbrush that would look like He-Man. This thing was awesome. And it would be like, you need to scrub your teeth, Mr. Man, it's He-Man. And they do this whole thing, and he had to keep scrubbing your teeth while he rattled through his like code of honor or something. And it was awesome. It was the best thing ever. And so like I have really fond memories of He-Man up until they made that really bad Dolph Lundgren movie.
Nice. Yeah, I think for people that grew up with those, is very nostalgic.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So like if you have like Kevin Smith doing
He's the
it,
right age group.
yeah, he's a fanboy, and hopefully that he can make it right. He'll do it right,
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what makes the difference. So if everybody's into He-Man, it's coming out actually pretty soon. I was surprised when I looked it up because they just released a couple still images, no trailer or anything yet. July 23rd, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That'd be cool on Netflix.
Yeah, because like that drove me to Thundercats because Netflix has She-Ra.
Yeah.
Netflix is gonna have He-Man. Netflix has Voltron, which I really like.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, let's go one more. Get Thundercats. Let's go.
And like so sweet.
And the one I posted, man, I really like that one because I was saying that it was before its time because at that time it was playing on like Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
So only a certain amount of people got to watch it, and there wasn't enough support for that show to go on. But if like it comes out on like Netflix, whatever, everybody's gonna watch it, dude. Like, come on.
Well, did you see that one of our Audionet listeners on the Twitter said that that's available currently on Hulu, and so maybe they said petition Disney because it's owned by Disney. Then that means that maybe we can get Disney to remake it too.
No, I want Netflix to do it, man, because
you wanted to be more hardcore.
Well, I like Voltron a lot from Netflix, and I think they have DreamWorks animated, and I love that animation style. So it's only right for Netflix to do it and keep it like the 2011 series because man, it was dope.
Perfect. I'm down. We gotta start like a petition, get them to do it. Bring back Thundercats 2011.
Oh.
Over on Amazon Prime, they have a brand new show called Solos. Did you watch that trailer at all?
I did.
So Solos, it looks weird. It looks like a lot of things have come out recently where it's like these kind of like multiple story type television shows where each episode's its own story and they're somehow connected via some really interesting kind of futuristic thing. But what was cool about it is it's really loaded with like good actors. I should have wrote them down. I didn't write any of them down, but I remember seeing like Helen Mirren. I remember seeing what's the guy? Voice of God was in it.
Morgan Freeman.
Yes, Morgan Freeman. He was in it. I mean, Constance Wu was in it. Yeah, there was like all sorts of good actors, and so
Anthony
like
Mackie
Anthony Mackie
and Hathaway.
and Anthony Mackie again. He looks like he
Yeah,
plays twins.
two of them. I forget that one black lady from Orange New Black, the crazy one. She's in there too. I don't know her
Okay,
name.
nice. Yeah, I don't know her name either, but what do you think about the show? Is this something you're gonna give a shot to, or you're just like, oh, I've kind of been there, done that, not interested?
It's gonna be a pass for me. It's kind of like we're gonna do Black Mirror, but we're gonna try to win an Emmy with it. And
That is such a good take. That's
I just,
exactly what it looks like.
yeah, I was like, it's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit softer on it. I think that your take is exactly right, and it may be that they're gunning for some Emmys, but I might give it a shot just because of the star power alone. So I might watch it just to see if it's something I'm interested in, because I've given a lot of the shows just like this a shot, where they're all, like you said, almost like the Black Mirror ripoffs, and they're always not good. They get so boring. They just drag too much.
Oh yeah, we have a mutual friend that says if you watch a show like 10 episode, right?
Yeah.
And you watch like the first 10 minutes, the first episode, and you don't like it, you should bail and just have your opinion on it. It's like, do you agree or
I disagree with that big time. And I have the perfect example, because I really didn't like the first episode of Game of Thrones. In fact, I didn't like the first few episodes of Game of Thrones. And if I hadn't stuck with it, I would not have been able to enjoy what was the greatness of Game of Thrones, which is one of the greatest shows of all time, excluding the ending, that I've ever seen. And so I can't even imagine if I would have bailed on it 10 minutes in.
Right. I think for me, I get committed and I have to finish it to get my true opinion. You know, I can't review a show just on the first, 15 minutes. It's just you don't get what they're trying to show you. You don't get what they're trying to tell you,
Right.
or like their the whole concept behind it. Like,
Right. And I can bail on a show, but usually I usually give it a few episodes. There's some like Jupiter's Legacy that I stick with because conceptually I want to see how it turns out. But yeah, I mean, like a show like this, if I watch Solos and like the first two episodes are just boring and clearly not made for me, I won't watch anymore. But yeah, I couldn't watch 10 minutes of it and then bail, unless it was like the most horrific thing that ever existed and it was just somebody like screeching into a microphone the whole time. I'd probably stick with it for at least an episode or two.
you gotta do it for the cast, man.
Yeah, do it for the cast. Over on HBO Max, they are turning one of mine. We've talked a lot about cartoons in this episode. They're turning one of my personal favorite cartoons of like all time into a movie to kind of finalize the story. So Venture Brothers has been going on since the dawn of time. I mean, this show has been on forever. It's only like 4 or 5 seasons, but it's been happening over like a 10-year span. They release an episode like every 2 years. And so they're finally going to give us a conclusion on HBO Max, Adult Swim, because they're all kind of owned by the same Warner Brothers group. And I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm like a level 10 excited for this.
Wow.
And so if you guys have never watched Venture Brothers, I'm assuming this means I didn't check. Okay, you've never seen it?
No.
If I'm gonna double check and see if it's on HBO Max, you should watch it. You're gonna be like, where the crap has this been all my life? It seems like what we watched today, but it was so long ago. I mean, not like so long ago, but it was years and years ago, right? And they would release a season of it like every 2 years for some reason. It took forever for them to make it, and it's really, really amazing. One of my favorites.
Wow.
My last TV tidbit is for the reality fans out there. I know my wife's going to be excited, but they're bringing back Big Brother. Big Brother season 23 debuts on July 7th. And that should be a blast for those of you who like that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got a news for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
I follow my boy Sima Liu.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see him tweeted that Netflix can bring back the last season of Kim's Convenience?
No, I didn't. That's amazing.
Dude. They're gonna finish the season.
Win.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Good on you, Netflix. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's kind of like it ended too soon, dude.
That's a fantastic sitcom.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah, so anybody out there that's never seen Kim's Convenience, you gotta watch it. It's like an old school sitcom that's new, but the humor, the acting, the emotion, everything, the connectivity you have with the stars is just so good.
Yeah, because like one time Simu tweeted out saying that Appa, the dad.
Yeah.
He gets to be in Star Wars,
Yep.
and then Simo gets to be in Marvel,
Yep.
and then he's like, what's that one? The bad Captain America sidekick, Battlestar.
Oh yeah.
He was in Kim's Convenience too, or something like that.
He was really.
Yeah.
I
And-
saw that someone else tweeted that you can get Legends figures of almost half the cast of Kim's Convenience now, and I'm like, that's amazing.
Nice.
I really hope the rest of them somehow end up as small parts and get their own Legends figures, and you can make like a Kim's Convenience with Shang-Chi and the dude from Star Wars and this other guy you're talking about. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, they needed like cast Janet into like Silk or something.
Oh yeah, I
let's
love Janet
go.
too. I'd
Yeah.
buy it. And the funny sidekick friend on that show, he'd be perfect for
Oh yeah,
Marvel.
what was his name?
God, what does he call himself on there?
Kimchi. Shout out.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right,
man.
Kimchi.
Show's so good. I'm glad
love it.
Netflix did as a solid and are gonna finish it for us.
That's great. I love that kind of stuff. That's my favorite when they do that. So I think now's the time to take a quick break. On the flip side, we're gonna hit you with some tasty trailers, and then I just got a couple news stories to wrap this bad boy up. So we'll see you guys all on the flip side. Need affordable graphic design? VisualAntiDesign.com should be your first stop. High quality work at low prices. Perfect for every need from corporate to personal. Visit VisualAntiDesign.com now and request your free quote. And for a limited time, mention Audionots for 10% off your first project. And we're back. What's up, everybody? So we're going to talk about some tasty trailers. The first tasty trailer is the big one that I think a lot of people are probably really excited for. Venom number 2. Let There Be Carnage. Yeah. What did you think about the Venom trailer?
Well, for me, the first one, I dig the first one. I know you hate it, but for me, I like the buddy cop.
Sure.
And then this one, I don't know. I gotta watch it because for me, I really like Carnage as a bad guy, and I think that Carnage is like one of Spider-Man's best nemesis. To where he's just like evil.
Right.
And to see him in the big screen, I'm pretty excited for that.
And it's Woody Harrelson that gets to play Carnage. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think that we differ a little bit on Venom. I thought that it was too corny, right? So my biggest beef with the original Venom was that I wish Marvel had been in charge of it, or Disney instead of Sony, because I thought they went way too corny with it. And I like Venom. Venom was created during my key parts of my comic book reading, and it was a very intense, strong, awesome, bad character. He's a good bad guy. And then he comes out and he's just like, especially in this trailer, he's like high-fiving him and making jokes and
making breakfast.
Yeah, making breakfast. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is like, what is this? Like Ted the movie or something. And like, this just seems like a sitcom now. And I'm just kind of like, oh, that's a little bit going the wrong direction. Like, I didn't think the other one was great, but it wasn't awful, but it wasn't quite the direction I wanted. And one would hope that it would start to peel off in the right direction. And I felt like it took a hard left and went the other way.
Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious,
I guess. Like, it's gonna be so interesting when they like try to fold in Tom Holland into this weird ass Venom world. I'm having a hard time imagining how it'll work.
They're just gonna be buddies right off the bat. Oh, what up, Spidey?
Right, I guess.
Dude, if you like Venom, you should look into the new comic books that they're doing called King of Black.
Okay.
And it's
I like Venom.
It's all about Venom, and Venom's the hero, and shit gets crazy in there, dude.
That might be part of my problem too, is I stopped reading a lot of Venom type stuff when he was still just a bad guy before they started evolving him into an anti-hero. Yeah. And so I'm okay with that, but it's just like, maybe just that kind of sticks with me a little bit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're too biased.
Oh, for sure.
Fresh mind, man. Fresh mind.
Yeah. The next tasty trailer I have is all horror movies coming out. So I don't know if it's normal for us to have a bunch of summer horror movies. I always thought it was more of a October thing, but maybe that's what people are into these days. We're all pandemicized and we're like ready to be scared a little bit. Forever Purge, the Forever Purge, which is, I don't know if it's a conclusion, but it's along with all the other Purge type movies, is coming out. And this one, the main plot seems to be that the whole purpose of the plot of the Purge movies is there's one day a year where you can run around and just murder the hell out of people and get away with it, and it's not any law, and then you gotta be nice, so you kind of get out of your system. And then this movie basically says, no, we're just going to go back to what normal life is and kill people all the time. And so, like, they're still, you're not supposed to kill me. The purge is over. And they're like, I don't think so. And they just keep killing them. And they have a forever purge.
Yeah, I think the article that I read said that this is the last of the series.
Well, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Because it looks kind of dumb.
Yeah, fun fact, I've never seen the Purge movies at all. None of them. I've never watched them.
Even funner fact, I have not either. I've never seen a Purge. It always looks stupid to me, so I never watched it. And the trailer on this, I'm like, oh, maybe this one will be more interesting. But even the acting in the trailer looks really bad.
Speak English. How does that translate? That dude is so funny.
So stupid. And when did they decide in the horror genre that all it took to be scary was a guy in a rubber like rabbit mask or like a rubber fox mask? And like, when did we decide this is what's scary?
You know what's the best part of that about that trailer? The lady in there, the Hispanic lady.
Yeah,
she was the hot nun from Nacho.
Nacho. That's awesome. That's funny that you recognize that.
I know her from somewhere. Oh, it's her.
That's awesome. So let me guess, you're not gonna go see the Forever Purge only in theaters?
Negative.
No, but for those of you who are interested, the Forever Purge comes out July 2nd. And in case I forgot to say it earlier, Venom 2 comes out September 24th. Keeping in line with scary movies, scary sequels at that. So this one I was originally excited for when I saw the who was making it, directed and starring Chris Rock. Spiral, the Book of Saw, is coming out, and I watched a 3.5 minute clip from the movie. I don't know if you watched the trailer or the clip, but the clip was, I'm like, I gotta watch this because I'm gonna give you all another fun fact. I've never seen a Saw movie either.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen them.
I've never seen a Saw movie, so I'm like, well, let's see what happens. And the weird guy with the mask, because everybody has to scare, like, is a pig mask in this one. I'm like, I don't get it. So pig mask guy catches detective guy and goes, I don't like you lying about people and getting them in trouble. And he puts his tongue in like some sort of trap, right? And his tongue's in like some sort of like, I don't know, pinchy thing. And he's like hanging like on a little step stool with his tongue in trap. His hands are handcuffed behind him, and there's a train coming because he's on like train tracks, like subway tracks. And the guy's like, if you want to escape, you must either rip out your tongue so you can tell no more lies, or you must die and face the ultimate consequence. And so the guy's like, and he manages to break his handcuffs loose. And he's like, trying to get his tongue out. And he's like, he's not very successful. And then like the train's coming. You think, okay, he's gonna break loose at the last second, and he doesn't break loose. He just splatters all over the front of the train. And I'm like, what the hell is this movie? Is this what it is? Just people dying, just like torture porn?
Yeah, it pretty much is. It's basically the dude's teaching you a lesson because you've done something wrong, you know, and basically you're taught.
Do you like do you like the Saw movies?
For me, I'm not a big fan. It's always just like kind of like stressful. Like, god damn it, you know. But I actually saw this trailer when I went to the movie theaters.
Oh,
that's right. I went to the movie theaters like 2 weeks ago to go watch Demon Slayer, the anime.
Was that good? Did you like
anime?
it?
Man, it was so hype. It was so good. I almost cried. Yes, I forget that there's trailers from the movie. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell, dude? There's like 30 minutes worth of trailers. What the heck?
Are you excited for this movie?
So I am not excited for this movie. I cannot take Chris Rock as a serious actor because there's this one scene where he's like getting mad at the precinct. He's like,
yeah,
we got to get everybody out there and, you know, close all the roads and we're going to find this guy. He's killing people. It's like, what the hell?
Well, it's because he's a good comedian and he's got like that high squeaky voice. It would be hard to take him serious, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, this is so cringy as I can't take it.
All right, so if you're not into this, don't watch it. So that's another one that's coming out. Another horror movie, since we're on the genre, the final trailer for The Quiet Place 2 is coming out. Once again, they're sneaking around some more. Looks like there's a little bit more monster action. Maybe we see a few monsters even in the trailer. And here's another fun fact: I've never seen The Quiet Place 1.
Oh man, you're missing out, dude. Quiet Place is so good.
I want to see it. I went to look for it, so I'm like, oh, the trailer actually looked pretty good for Quiet Place 2, and I don't know the story. I'm assuming because we only see John Krasinski or whatever his name is, Jim, for a few minutes at the beginning. He must die in the first one, so we're seeing like maybe a look back at when he was alive.
Spoiler alert.
How's it a spoiler? I've never seen the movie. This is my assumption based on this trailer. So it can't be a spoiler if I'm just guessing. So yeah, he's probably dead just because I'm smart and I could figure it out from this trailer. But this looks really good. So I don't know. I went to look for it to see if I can find the first one, and it's not streaming anywhere. And I have every streaming service known to man, so that's kind of a bummer. So
Wow.
if anybody out there has Quiet Place 1 and wants to lend me the Blu-ray, I'm down.
Nice. Yeah, I enjoy part 1 a lot. It's one of those movies that if you fart, then it's over, buddy.
Everybody knows. It's hilarious. So you think this one's gonna be good, or you think it's too quiet?
No, I think not as quiet because this one, I think they might go more of like the human race, humanity, you know, like it's not like, you know, like The Walking Dead where you're like, oh shit, zombies. But
Right.
in the end, it's humans that are the worst, you know.
Oh,
So I think they're going that route, you know. Monsters are here, but you know what?
People are worse.
Yeah, people are worse, so we deserve this.
So do you like that? Do you think that makes you want to see it or no?
Yeah, I just want to see the outcome, basically.
Nice. So what we've learned here is I need to figure out where to see the first one so I can see the second one. And the second one comes out May 28th. It's also another one of these movies that said only in theaters.
Nice. Wait, you can't even look at it like Redbox?
Maybe. I haven't checked on Redbox. So yeah, maybe I can. I didn't go to any on-demand sites. I was just looking to see if the million things I'm already paying for might have it. Because I thought, well, maybe HBO has it. Maybe Netflix have it. Maybe Hulu. Maybe one of these million things I have has it, and nobody had it. So that was kind of a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah, pay that $2.
I know. I'll pay the $2. The next trailer came out. Actually, I'm super interested in. I have no idea anything about this, but I like the trailer. It's called The Green Knight. Stars Dev Patel, and it looks like it's a King Arthur type thing, which I think you've told me in the past you like King Arthur things. So I'm not sure if this is going to turn you on and turn you off. But I got to be honest, when I heard the term The Green Knight, I honestly thought it was going to be some sort of environmentalist movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so he's trying to hunt down the Green Knight, which is some giant like monster knight that happens to be, you know, Hulk skin green. But the trailer looked cool as hell. There's all sorts of like really cool looking visuals. And so my only fear would be that it's more artsy fartsy than it is like well done. But if it can have those visuals and be kind of a fun, like, you know, movie, I'd be totally down. What did you think?
Yeah, because it's funny because when you sent me this trailer, I'm like, I thought I saw this trailer like a year ago.
Has it been out that long?
So it turns out like a year ago, I saw the teaser for this. I'm like, oh shit, it's this one. Because I was like, that's Slumdog Millionaire. Let's go.
Yeah. So this must have been one that was really held up by the pandemic then.
Yeah. I think for me, this one, it looks too like they want to get out there. They want to, you know, win an Oscar.
Right. But I'm hoping, like I have this hope, and I always hope, and it never turns out that way, that it's just a visually magnificent, fun popcorn movie versus just being, like you said, I want to win an award type movie.
Yeah. It's going to want to win an award. And it's going to be like, you don't get it, Ren.
You're too stupid to understand our vision.
Yeah. Well, you ain't woke.
So if you decide you want to watch The Green Knight, it comes out July 30th. My last tasty trailer, we had a boatload of them today, is called The Protege. And The Protege is basically a female John Wick.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Maggie Q.
Maggie Q. Yeah. Stars Maggie Q, Samuel Jackson, your favorite, and Michael Keaton, who's really grown on me as a bad guy. I love it when he plays the bad guy because he used to always play the good guy when I was young. And so the only reason I'm even semi-interested in this is I like the cast. The plot looks exactly like a John Wick movie, and it says literally during it by the producers of John Wick. So maybe it'll be just cool ass kicking action.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on this. What do you think?
Well, for me, I like Maggie Q because she's done a lot of like action movies I've seen. Yeah. She's also in, if you know, Nikita. One show. She's like basically a BA, It's like
Right.
she
She's a
fits.
female action star.
Yeah, she fits the part. She's a hot, and then when I saw Samuel L. Jackson, I'm like, God, you sent me this trailer just to troll me.
If it makes you feel better, I'm predicting he dies in this movie too. So it looks like he dies about halfway through, and that's part of her reason for her ultimate ass kicking. Because it looks like to me that Michael Keaton kind of turns on them. They're all kind of like they're doing their thing, and he kills Sam Jackson. So she has to enact her revenge for her lost friend.
Yeah, and then the whole plot is Batman trying to get with her.
Yeah, he's like, I want to kill you, but I kind of want to have sex with you too. So I don't know.
and I think I love you now.
I love it. So yeah, I'm kind of down for the Protege. I'm kind of hoping this is one of those ones that will show up on streaming super soon because I would be down for that mostly. I'd probably not go to the theater for this.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a John Wick, kick-ass movie. Plotline's dumb, but action's dope.
Yeah. So I'm down. If you're down for the Protege, it comes out August 20th. I have two new news jacuzzi stories that we could dip our toes into. The first one's actually pretty quick. Knives Out. So remember the Knives Out movie, Rian Johnson. Did you ever see Knives Out? You saw it, right?
No, I didn't, because I hated Rian Johnson so much.
So I want to tell you, I know. So Rian Johnson, Rian Johnson is a good director, like a really good director, but he needs to know his genre. And the problem with Rian Johnson in Star Wars is he didn't go in as a fan of Star Wars. And so he wanted to make a completely different film than what belonged in that trilogy. So that was the problem. That's why he kind of screwed up that movie, and I think in our opinions. But however, he does really good, fun kind of indie type movies, and Knives Out is an amazing movie, great movie. And so they're casting right now for Knives Out Part 2. And I was just like really amazed. I want to talk about the fact that they've loaded it with good actors. They got Daniel Craig coming back. He's kind of the Inspector Clouseau type guy that solves whatever the crime might be, usually a murder. Dave Bautista, who the internet will tell you is better than The Rock. Edward Norton, the OG Hulk. He's been in some things. He's a fantastic actor. He's in my all-time favorite movie. Yep. And Janelle Monáe, who's proving to be not only an amazing singer, but a good actress. And Catherine Hahn. And we know Catherine Hahn as the bad witch lady from WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this sounds like it could be pretty good just based on the cast.
Is that just the beginning? Is there going to be more?
I don't know. I mean,
is that the final cast?
Movie, I don't know. So it seems like the way in the Knives Out, because I've heard they want to make a bunch of these, like it's almost like a series. So basically, Daniel Craig's character, I think, rolls up on murders and solves the mystery. And that's kind of like what it is. And in the first Knives Out movie, you have all these characters, and you're trying to figure out who did it as he's figuring out who did it as well.
Clue.
But it's like Clue. But part of it is the chemistry between the actors and how they do things. And it's funny and silly. And so I'm excited about this cast because it reads like the kind of cast that could do that kind of movie really well, because you've got good actors with also people who could be funny and things like that. My last story is, did you know that Target is trying to save lives? You want to know how? Trying to save the lives of their employees by not selling Pokemon cards anymore.
What? No way. Why?
So I'm gonna tell you why. So Target's no longer selling Pokemon or sports cards anymore for the safety of their employees. And I'm gonna read the story as it slowly populates.
Target has interested.
You ready for this? Target has announced that it will temporarily stop selling trading cards of both sports and Pokemon variety in stores following recent violent disputes of one of its locations. So what's happening is Pokemon and sports cards have become so huge, almost like NFTs. Everybody and their mother wants these because they're worth all sorts of money. And so they're having people steal them. And as they're trying to steal, because they've always done a weird thing with their cards, they keep them right by the door. So if you wanted to steal them, it's pretty easy, grab them, run, right? So people are trying to steal them because of the value that they hold right now. And Target employees will try to stop them. And then all of a sudden people are getting like really hurt over Pokemon cards. And so Target's kind of like, fuck this. We don't want people getting, shanked over over Charizard. So they're like, no, that's it. They're like Target's the parents. They're like, you know what, guys? If you're gonna fight over the toy, I'm taking the toy away. And so they said, you know what? We're not gonna do it anymore.
I get it, man. That's why every time I go to Target, I cannot find me some Pokemon cards to buy.
That used to be my favorite thing to do. So Kid Danger and I, while the ladies got in line to buy all the junk they found in the Target store, we'd go over to that aisle they have right next to the cash registers, and we'd just randomly look at all the cards and like the weird little toys they have in bags, and be like, well, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe I'll buy one of those one day. That's pretty cool. But I have to admit, last time we were there, we did see they in fact did not have anything. The shelves were empty.
Yeah, and I thought that people just bought it all.
No, yeah. It says for the safety of our guests and our team is our top priority. They put out a statement to CNN. Out of abundance of caution, we've decided to temporarily suspend the sale of MLB, NFL, NBA, and Pokemon trading cards within our store effective of May 14th. So the stores that you saw that were empty, because I've seen them earlier than that, they knew it was coming. And they just let them run out. So they got sold out, and then decided to replenish them. However, here's the caveat. You can still buy them on Target.com.
Where it's safer.
Where you won't get shanked over that hot Pikachu.
So May 14th, today's the 13th. After this podcast, I'm going to head over to Target.
You're going straight to Target and just buy it all. So you're just stabbing people. You should have done it sooner.
No, I actually have some Pokemon cards. I actually put some on my eBay. So if anybody wants to buy some Pokemon cards, head over my eBay.
Let me ask you this. What's your most valuable Pokemon card that you currently own? And what's the most valuable one you've ever sold?
Just I don't have any good ones. The only ones I have is the ones I got from McDonald's.
Oh. And what are you trying to sell them for? Is it worth 20, 30, 50, 100?
No, a few bucks, like $3-4.
Oh.
Times by, a lot. So it gives me a meal.
Nice. So I shouldn't shank you next time I see you and demand your Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Fun fact: when I was a little younger, I was a huge Yu-Gi-Oh card player.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of cards, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up and got a girlfriend and got married. I sold
like none of this garbage.
Yeah. She's like, get rid of it. No, I sold
Yu-Gi-Oh
all my cards.
Went the way of the virginity, like out the door.
Yeah, I sold all my cards, and that's how I bought my wife's engagement ring.
Dude, that is an awesome story. That's so cool.
Yeah. So whenever they're like, how come you don't collect anymore? I was like, I just point to my wife's engagement ring. It went there.
It's right there. That's what came out of it.
See that shining crystal right there? Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. So everybody listening at home, I mean, the lesson to be learned here is go dig around in your drawers, not your pants, but your drawers and your closets and your garages, and see if you've got any of this stuff, because it's worth all sorts of money. I've went through all my baseball, basketball, football cards and pulled out what I thought were the very best ones. And I think now is probably pretty close to the ultimate time. We're at like the tipping point of the selling. So I might have to sell my stuff. I know Kid Danger has some Pokemon cards somewhere, but I was asking him, like, you still have those, or mom throw those away? And he's like, I don't know, man, but we're going to look for them. If we find them, we'll definitely hawk them too.
Yeah. I think there's a place here in like, over by Tiger or something by I-5 over there.
Yeah.
That they have a place where you could hold your stuff there, and their whole things, they try to sell it for you while you hold it there.
Right. What do they call those stores? Yeah. There's a name for that. It's slipping my mind. There's a name for that kind of store.
Yeah.
Where they sell it for you and then they take a commission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you audio nuts out there, we do take donations, money donations, and baseball cards, basketball cards,
send us your collectibles.
Anything and everything. We're desperate.
Yeah, please send us your collectibles. Yeah. That's it. That's all I had. Do you have anything else you want to like throw in before we wrap this bad boy up and seal it?
I just want to say shout out to APPI month, Asian Pacific Islander month.
Nice.
Because I am Asian, so shout out to you guys.
Nice.
Be safe, be strong, and don't stay strong, I guess.
I love it. It. That's awesome. That's very cool, because those are the kind of things I didn't know. So that's good to learn those things.
That's it.
That's it. All right, man. Then we will sign off and see everybody on the next flippity flip time, because we're actually doing pretty good with getting these things out once a week, which is amazing. It's a real win. So bye.